And hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 4 of TNT Footy. I'm back. I'm Taz. Back is not my name. And these are my co-hosts.
I'm Eggy, and I'm black.
I'm Todd, and I'll just go for North Melbourne. That's good. No, it's good to have you back, Tuzzy.
It is
Missed
good to have
out
you
last week. It was good. We had Hurdy on the show. Actually, he did well.
He did really
James
well.
Hurt.
It did so well. We might even bring him back this week. Is that right?
Yeah, he might get a special host and
Special
tonight.
guest, James Hurd. Oh, that's
maybe we can see. We can try.
No, I really appreciate Mr. Stephen for filling in. Not real big shoes to fill, but I did manage to watch it while I was laid up in bed, and I thought he did a fantastic job.
No, he done real good. Had some good points. It was good to have someone a bit of knowledge on too.
That's awesome. A few technical issues, I believe, but they were sorted out pretty quickly.
Yeah, we got there in the end.
Yeah, we struggled along a bit last week, didn't we?
Well, boys, we're another week down. What's that? 3 rounds gone.
3 rounds, yes.
How
North
quick's
should
the
be
season
unbeaten,
going?
buggers.
How quick is the season going though already?
No, it's good. I can't wait. They should just play games. It should be like the basketball, 5 games a week or whatever.
Yeah, how good would that be?
But
Like
just,
during COVID, footy every night.
yeah, just bam, bam, bam. That was great, wasn't it?
It
Those
was
3
amazing,
weeks.
actually.
Best
Yeah.
3 weeks of my life.
It was absolutely amazing. All right. So should we start with the winners and losers of the round?
Winners and losers. That's what we got. Yeah, why not? Eh, we got Bulldogs over Brisbane in the first game. Is that the first game?
That was the first game. I'm not sold on Brisbane.
No, I am not at all. I tipped Bulldogs, and I said last week, I said if they didn't do anything this week, they'd be in serious trouble.
Yeah. I mean, they had one more scoring shot than what
Brisbane?
than what Bulldogs did. But how many out on the full did Danaher kick this week? Any?
I think he might only got 1 or 2.
Out on the full.
Oh,
I think
sorry.
the Bulldogs, that
Those are
first
goals.
quarter.
My apologies.
That first quarter was absolutely horrendous, but I'm pretty sure in that quarter 2, Bulldogs had 3 out in the fulls in the first 10 minutes, so they should have a few more scoring shots as well.
Yeah, definitely. I caught the second. Oh no, I did watch that game, and I nearly didn't. No, I don't think I watched the second half. I think it was putrid, so I turned it off.
I think I done the same or went to bed, and then I heard the next day it was a great game in the second half. I probably shouldn't have. I heard it was like a river of a game.
It's always the way.
No, it is, but at least someone got a bit of excitement out of it. But yeah, I couldn't. That first half was absolutely horrendous.
It's good to see Ugelhagen kick 5.
Yes, that was
It was.
well,
good
he
to
sort
see,
of
especially after
showed him up, didn't he?
the drama last week. But yeah, we won't touch on that.
No, that's one way to silence
no.
him, isn't it? Just go out and kick 5.
Yeah, pretty much. It's a good way to rub it into your critics, though. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And he was a bit emotional after the game, so it meant a lot to him.
Yeah, no, yeah. So it was an ordinary game to her, but from what I heard, one of the truck drivers at work goes for Bulldogs and said it was a ripper second half. So I didn't watch it, but probably should have stayed tuned.
Good if you're a Doggy supporter, I suppose.
Yeah, it was sort of do or die for them, wasn't it?
Yeah, they had to win this week. Had to win.
Yeah, absolutely. And for those that have tuned in, feel free to join in the chat with the comments. We'd love to hear from you and see what your thoughts are on the games while we review them.
Collingwood Richmond, that was pretty easy. Collingwood were good again.
They were, even though they started off kicking a few behinds.
Yeah, well, that scoreline 8-15 to 7-7. It's a bit
Yeah, says a lot, doesn't it?
But to be honest, they never look like losing that game.
They haven't looked like losing any game so far.
No, it was very cruisy game.
Even with Cameron going down, they still fought really well.
He was huge before he went down. He's been big for them all season, so it's going to be a big loss. I don't know. They're not going to have a rock this week. Probably just they don't need one really. Yeah, I heard 6 to 8 weeks. Yeah.
I second that, Hurdy. Go the Pies.
Go the Pies.
Yeah, I like 4 and 20 as well, mate. They're beautiful, delicious.
Yeah,
Hot
they're
pies.
going on nicely at the moment, Hurdy. Actually, very nice.
Then we had who we got after that? Saturday, we had Hawks And North
North
Melbourne.
and North Melbourne. Now, I'll open on this. I said to you, I think I messaged you 4 minutes before the game and said, we can't win this. You said,
was that?
right. And I said, LDU was out. Simpkin been suspended the week before, LDU out. You can't win without a midfield, and that's North Melbourne's midfield.
Two blokes shouldn't make a midfield, but it all fell onto Cunners.
Well, in a young side where we're rebuilding, that's the experience. It's not all the midfield, but that's the experience in the midfield. Pretty much Cunners did one-man band in there. Sheezer was amazing again in that second half. Pretty quiet in the first half, but amazing in the second half. Yeah, but those two play, I think we win. We get up.
I like it. I
Eggie,
agree with you.
What
as
do you
well.
see that game?
I listened to most of it or some of it on the thing, but yeah, when you said he was out and that, I thought
Yeah.
it was fairly close for the first 3 quarters, wasn't it? But it was just the last quarter that just got away from them.
No, it was the opposite. The first quarter they kicked away. First
Did
half they kicked away, got 5, 6 unanswered goals, and then North kicked the next 4 or 5 unanswered.
Yep.
And then Hawthorn, I think, getting back into the game, they ran out of legs, and Hawthorn kicked 3 or 4 quick ones.
Yep.
Real late.
It was actually not a bad game to watch. I did put a message in our chat as soon as Logue laid that bump. I said straight away he'll be gone for a week.
Yeah, now you can tell they're trying to get rid of the bump, because that was not head contact. Didn't tap him in the head at all.
Got him on the chin, I think.
Oh, I've watched it several times. I don't think he did. That was good by Day though. Day bounced straight back up. Didn't whinge, didn't sulk.
Yeah.
He knew it didn't hit him. So, but they want to get rid of the bump, so they've got to give a week to those guys for choosing the bump.
They do. They do. Moving on to the next game. This game was putrid, by the way. This was absolutely horrendous, and that's Carlton's win over the Giants.
You say that, but I
Yeah.
didn't mind the game. I thought it was a good game.
And I
Really?
was listening to a bit of the races during the day, and that they were just talking about how it'd been raining all day in New South, like in Sydney and that. So I'm guessing that's why it was so bad, because it was so wet.
Oh, it was pretty dry during the game.
Yeah, I think
Carlton
it wasn't.
did
It
miss a
wasn't.
few shots, but
I
that
think
made it more
by,
exciting.
by the time that game started, the rain had stopped, but there'd been that much downpour all morning.
And they
Yeah.
had the VFL game curtain race.
Yeah, they chopped up the ground a bit before.
Yeah.
That's an actual controversial one because Carlton got helped in that game. You
We
know
will
what I'm
keep
talking
moving on
about?
now. So we've got
Yeah.
St Kilda and Essendon Saturday night for the 150th anniversary and a good win to the Saints.
Was a good
Yeah,
win for
that
the
was
Saints.
real close up until the last 10 minutes.
It was actually a
Oh,
good game.
It was actually
a
it was a
blowout
pretty good
early.
game actually. Yeah, and then they
Essendon
pegged them.
fought back.
They pegged. Did they get in front, or was it? Were they still?
Yes, yeah, they got in front. No, they got in front at one point.
And then St Kilda just kicked 4 or 5 in the last, and then
Yeah, Saints, how good are they looking, eh? I mean, they
Ross,
haven't really.
boss.
they haven't. Yeah, like
Yeah,
they look good on paper, but I don't think they've really gone.
they
Against
haven't
the
played
top.
anyone yet,
I think
but,
that Western Bulldogs is probably the better,
but they're
better at the teams.
out of
but
form.
Yeah.
Round 1, they look terrible. So we'll see soon. I think they've got who have they got this week? I did look at this before.
I think,
Gold Coast.
and then I think they got Collingwood next week. So
A couple of testing. I mean,
Collingwood the
know.
week after, you'll find out more about them then.
yeah, 100%. You never know with the Suns at the moment.
Nah, hit and miss. Midfield's
Yeah.
elite, but whether they turn it on or not.
Then we got the showdown, and the Crows got up. Do you know I changed my tip 10 minutes before the start of this game to Port Adelaide?
Did you?
I did.
I did tip Port Adelaide, but I meant to tip Adelaide. This is another one. So I had 2 tips on this like week, which I tipped on the show, Adelaide and Gold Coast. Yet I took Geelong and Port Adelaide. Don't ask me why. I should have had 8 last week. I only ended up with 6, but 6 is better than the 2s I have been getting. But no, I watched most of that game. That was it. Oh, no, I watched the St Kilda Essendon. No, I think I switched off when Essendon just when St Kilda started tearing away. Watched the Port Adelaide because it was nearly drawed the whole game
yeah, it was nearly drawn the whole game.
until the last quarter.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
sort of flicking between the two, and I think the NRL was on at the same time as well. So it was a bit.
Pretty sure Rankin put on a show as well.
Yeah, I think he kicked a few and had a lot of disposals,
He kicked 4, I think.
4 or 5 or something. Yeah.
But no, that was a good game. That shows us more about Port. We were a bit iffy on them when they had that good win in round 1, but yeah, they're coming off 2 losses.
Yeah, and they don't look like they're gonna win a game.
Which is good because North has their first round pick.
This is true.
Let's just keep them down there, eh?
This is very true. Suns and Geelong.
Now, this one's the one I've been most interested about talking about this week because I was listening to Hodge this week and he reckons Geelong are full hungover. I reckon they won that flag and then he said they did it when they were playing. You get like relaxed. So instead of running that extra day, you take it off because we've won the flag or
Yep.
get into training this week. Oh, I'll start next week because we won the flag. And they're sort of 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks behind, not doing the hard yards now. And it tells. Gold Coast run all over the top of them.
It is interesting because last year Geelong were getting, the shit hung on them because they were the old team. They were the slow team, before the season started. They're actually playing like that this year.
Yeah, this year they
like
look like
they're
it.
old. They're playing like they're slow. They've got no aggression or, hunger to
And it's
actually
just
chase.
straight line balls too. There's no switch, no run, no dash, no handball receives. Just kick it long, hope Cameron and Hawkins can mark and kick it again.
Yeah, correct. Well, Hawkins is underdone. He had surgery.
Yeah.
He probably shouldn't even be in the side at the moment. They should be trying to put him on a bit of a fitness plan to get him back to 100% because he's one of the best key forwards in the league when he's up and running.
But how many more seasons has he got? If they take half a season to get him going, is he playing next year?
Yeah.
I think so. I think
think
he can
so?
go around again.
I don't think he'll go around again at Cats. I think they start axing next year. And anyone that's not going to be there for the next 4 or 5, look out.
Do you think at the end of this year or end of next year?
No, end of this year, I think.
This year, you think?
Yeah, well, they can't go 0-3. They don't make the 8 this year. You can't hold them to this side and hope for the best next year.
Depends. I mean, Sydney had an 0-6 start back in 2017 and they still
but they
finished
made
sixth
the
on the ladder.
finals. Yeah, that's what I mean. If they make the
Yeah.
finals, it's a different story. But if they start 0-4, 0-3 and don't make finals, if they don't make finals this year, you can't keep that side into the year after.
Oh, no, I agree with you.
It has to
I agree with you.
has to start something there.
I think Selwood leaving has had a massive impact on the club as well, because he used to drive training standards from everything that I've heard. It was very strict and very rigid.
And like the generals, they made sure made sure they were all hitting. Like I was just saying before, if you're not there that week, look out because he's getting up you. But this one, they're just having it off because we won one. Just
and
relax sort of thing. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
But no, that was a good game. Gold Coast fought it on well.
The next game was my biggest surprise because of the margin. And that's Melbourne, Sydney.
Yep. I thought it'd be a lot closer as well.
I mean,
I did until I seen what Melbourne side turned up.
I didn't actually see any of the game. I could just keep an eye on the scores. And Melbourne's kicking 21-8. That is very, very good.
Very good, but they looked quick. They looked fit. They were hungry. Oliver looked like he wanted to be there. Petrarca looked like he wanted to be there. They showed up. They played amazing football and just all gelled for them.
Premiership year for them?
Oh, mate, there's 6 sides that could be premiership year this year.
This is true.
You can't pick one this far out. They might not even make finals, you don't know.
Yeah.
But
this is true.
After that performance, they'll be that team's top 4.
Because weren't they 9-0 last year as well?
Yeah, I think so.
I think there was a couple of teams that went 9-0. Carlton being one of them.
Melbourne.
Oh, we might have lost a couple. We're up there anyway. But yeah. Melbourne were 9-0 or something like that. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I can't remember that, but yeah.
And then last but not least was the Derby.
The Derby over the West.
Over in the West. So this game was actually very close towards the third quarter. Eagles came back. Freo were winning. But then
you said there was a few injuries in that game, was there?
Yeah. Eagles got decimated. So there was basically no one on the bench. They'd already used their sub, and they had 2 players out on the field, Liam Ryan being one of them, that was actually that injured. He shouldn't have been out on the field. So essentially they were 7 men down.
7 men down, yeah.
That's a massive hit to a 22 person, like 20, what is it, 25 now? 23.
But did they use, because they were, oh no, I think it was close, wasn't it? So yeah, I was about to say they might have used a bit getting back, but I don't think they were ever out of it until 3/4 time.
Yeah, it's the
Freo
fourth
ran
quarter where
away in the
Freo just ran
last
away
quarter.
because Eagles had nothing. I did see some of that game, and Eagles just had nothing in the tank.
I
Nothing.
watched it till half time and then thought it was over. So I don't know why. I just gave up watching that game.
Yeah, it's
No, so it was another good round of footy. There were a few blowouts this week though, but there were a lot of close games. The Essendon St Kilda was close. The North Hawthorn was close. Close on the field, not close on the scoreboard ever, I don't think. Although North did come late. And that was about it. Oh, the GWS Carlton, that was a good game. Only because Carlton can't kick.
yeah, 9:20 is pretty ordinary.
Yeah. So,
I've just had a private message from Artie saying if we turn the chat off in on Twitch, and anyone who's watching, if they can't chat, a couple of things: make sure you're signed in, and also make sure that you have refreshed, just in case. Sometimes it can be a little bit glitchy, but chat's there. Hurdy's been typing a couple of things.
Yeah, Hurdy
Hurdy's
just wrote
yeah, I
something.
heard he said something then, yeah.
So, all right. Likes and didn't likes.
You want to go first, Eggy? What do you like?
Let me bring it back up again. What I did like was St Kilda. That was good. What I didn't like was the rain, the Collingwood game and the Carlton game. It made it look pretty bad.
Yep.
But yeah, like and Gold Coast getting over Geelong, that was good. But I think Saints are looking good. They're looking a lot better than last year. But I'd like to see them up against a better side.
Yep. What about you, Moisty?
Likes. What did I? I know what I didn't like. I didn't
Not
like.
up to that yet. Not up to that yet.
Heggy just done his didn't like.
That's
Oh,
all,
did you?
That's also
Yeah.
is that what you said?
He said, yeah, he done them both at once. We're
My
just
bad.
going together. All right. So my didn't like was
I'm half asleep. I'm sorry, guys.
my didn't like more of a carry on from the last year with Horn Francis's attitude.
Is he going
He's
down the
back
same
to
path?
what? No, so yeah,
Is he getting a bit
even
cocky,
at
is he?
Port, no, not cocky. He just it's not going his way. So he throws his head, walks. His David King showed it on the thing. It's him walking to an open ball in 50 when they kick a goal. He was 5 meters from him, could have put pressure on, just walking behind the play. And it's how he always gets when it doesn't go his way. Sulks, bitches, moans. Anyway, that's my little rant about him. But yeah, that's all. I don't like that because he could be a star and he needs to get that out of his game though.
Well, he showed when Port had that decent win and he scored something like 130 or 40 Supercoach points.
But see, that's when everything was
brought
going
him in.
his way. Yeah, when
Correct.
things are going his way and he's up and about, he's great. But when they don't go his way, he needs to just a bit more maturity, I think, in there. But he will be a
Definitely.
freak, but he needs a bit more maturity. That's what I didn't like anyway. And my like was, I reckon Melbourne. I think seeing Melbourne run in fine form again. And
Yep.
just the way they dominated Sydney. I had Sydney top 2 after round 2 and Melbourne just come out and just showed them how to play football.
Yeah, beautiful.
What about you, Mark?
I'm just going to quickly comment. Hurdy's got here that Horn Francis is not invested in the team defence and he costs them 3 goals. You know, I agree with that, Hurdy. 100% agree with that.
And that's what I was saying before when they had images of him just walking back when the bloke's 5 meters from him, he could have put pressure on.
Yep, definitely. I like Cats being 0-3.
Oh, I'm through the
They
Cats.
are my least favourite team in the whole of the league. Just
Ooh.
do not like them.
Is that because they're too good?
No, just ever since I remember the 95 grand final. I was 6 years of age and just watching Carlton dominate them. I loved it. And there's a couple of like hits off the ball. And I know that's kind of how footy was back then. But as a kid, I was like, oh, you can't do that. You're not allowed to do that. And ever since then, I've just
Bit of Carlton bias coming in here.
just hate Geelong. So they're my most hated team. I'd rather barry for Collingwood and Richmond and Essendon over Geelong.
Fair enough.
I loved Frederick from Fremantle. I loved his goal celebration, the little side backflip.
I didn't see it.
You need to look it up. It was an amazing celebration, and that's probably one thing that I wish AFL players would do a bit more. Not as far as soccer players and NFL, but I like seeing different types of
They
celebration.
get barred off them though.
What do you mean?
Remember the old bow and arrow, and they get told not to do them. The coaches go off at them.
I think
There's nothing wrong with the bow and arrow. Like
No,
I used
I
to
agree.
love that celebration, but they get told, and Ackermanis doing handstands. He
Yeah.
always got told off for that. Like,
see. I think it should be welcomed in the game. I love it. The crowd loves it.
yeah, but that's a lot of them don't do it because of the coaches.
Coaches
They
are
don't ward it off.
too serious sometimes.
All right,
But,
so yeah, well we
and
got.
I've got one more. Sorry.
Oh, he's got double.
I've got one more here of what I liked, and that was the AFL prioritising. They're starting to really protect the players with the suspension.
With the bump, so
Yeah,
you don't
because
like
I
the bump.
think
You want the bump gone.
Look, I love the bump. I mean, there was a collision with, I can't remember who it was on the weekend, but they were two young players, and they both turned and went for the ball together.
Yeah.
And shoulder to shoulder. Love that sort of bump. Love that aggression. The AFL really needs to protect the head, and I love that they've kind of.
But I'll
started
take
to
that
set an
in. You
example.
said you like that shoulder to shoulder. What if
Yep.
one of them didn't go shoulder to shoulder? Now that's a
Well,
week.
That is a week.
So you got to teach young kids not to do it, because if one of them went straight, that's a week.
Yeah, correct.
That's a 2 week. But then
You've got to teach
them
them
not to bump. Yeah, but if one turns and one doesn't, it's still a week.
Exactly, it is. I see
So
what you're
the
saying.
bumps either got to be gone, or like you've got to teach kids not to do it, because you're just going to get suspended later on.
I think it's most players prefer not to do it now anyway, because it is a risk. Like I heard Doherty and Rewald speaking on AFL 360, and they were just saying that you've got to be so careful now because you might lose that week. You just don't know.
But
So-
I reckon the bump's gonna go.
It's on its way.
Coaches is going to tell no more bump and tackle. If you can bump, you can tackle.
Absolutely. Well, Cosley Pickett, he's missed a couple of weeks, and there's been players already. So
That was like a diving spear, not a bump.
that was him and McGannon was terrible.
It was not even anywhere remotely legal bump.
And then two things I didn't like was only getting 3 correct tips. And
It's common occurrence for you, mate. You can't not like that.
And I actually did not like the dissent call
No, that was a terrible goal.
in the GWS Carlton game.
That was absolute.
Yeah, I
terrible.
asked you what it was. I was like, "What do you mean descent? What
I got,
the ball descended
just-
too quickly?"
Free kick, 50 metres for doing
I
this.
was watching a clip of Razor Ray talking about it and trying to explain the dissent rule, and I dead asked him, was it dissent? And he said, well, we're all speculating, and roundabout way said, no, it wasn't, without actually saying it. So
I have heard that.
he wouldn't go bang, yes, it was. He said, worked his way around it, so he agreed that it wasn't without saying it.
Yep.
So sort of implied thinking, no, you shouldn't have done that, but I'm not going to go against them and say that.
I heard someone else say that it kind of depends on the umpire and how sensitive they're feeling on the day as well.
Well, that's why I've never liked. I like it to get more umpires in, but it's a difference between I used to umpire for the 2s sometimes, and you'd have blokes on the other side giving away 50s, and they're like, give away 50s. I said, I don't really care if you yell at me. Like, I'm not going to give it away. But then you get someone else umpiring. Oh, you can't do it. And 50, 50, 50. So it's more what you can take, or, you know what I'm saying, though? It's not.
I do.
Yeah, it's not. It can't be even, because you could be more sensitive than me,
Correct.
and I'll let you get away with it, but then up the other end they won't.
I know exactly what you mean.
So I don't.
Eggy, mate.
Just resubscribe with me, Prime sub. May as well not leave it there.
Might as well get her in there.
Love it. Love it. All right. What do we got next, boys?
10K challenge, I believe. We're hitting back this week.
We are.
We did have the bonus bet last week, which was a bit of a kiddie, so we're just going to use that this week.
Beautiful.
So I'll go first. I've had to start again because I fell mine, so I've put it out in there. My 50 this week's going on Collingwood at $1.80 over Brisbane. I think Collingwood are all over them. I know it's at the Gabba, but Collingwood get the chocolates there for me.
That's your sure thing.
That's my sure thing. Yeah, that's what mine's going on.
What about you, Wakey?
Oh, you know me. I don't like to like to just put it on one team, so I sort of spread it around with a couple of same game multis. So I got $70 in the kitty. I had $50 to put aside that I thought we're gonna redo the 10K challenge, the group one, but then we found out that the bet with mates is giving us a free $100 bonus bet, so I pocketed that again. So I'm gonna put $30 on this week. I got two $15 multis. What I'll do here is I'll see if I can get him up on the screen.
While he's doing that, I'll get your tip, Tassie, and explain
Yeah, mate,
why he's getting them up.
So I've been useless with my 10K challenge. I've been useless with my tips.
Useless.
The only thing that I've actually been getting close in is my multis.
So he's going to go the multi-way now too.
I am. So I've been losing by one leg, most bets I've done. I'm looking at the Carlton North game.
Yeah.
And I've got a 4-leg multi. I've got Charlie Kerner and Harry Mackay to both kick 2 or more, because North's defence is very depleted.
He's not there. Yep.
I've got Jesse Motlop to kick a goal at any time. And then I've got Harry Sheasel to get 25 or more disposals.
That's
paying $3.60.
You can have one of those. That's all I'm going to give you this week. The Sheasel ones. I will take though, Tassie. I need you to pick a team this week though.
You need me to pick a team?
Yeah, well, the way we're going to work the group is I've gone Collingwood. You
Okay.
pick a team, Eggy picks a team, and then we're going to ask the group to vote for their favourite one, and then we're going to put the group's one on that.
Well, see, I think Brisbane's going to beat Collingwood.
Oh.
All right, so we've got one Collingwood, one Brisbane. Is that your sure thing, though?
My sure thing. I told you my sure thing before was Melbourne, but it's only paying $1.08, so I'm not going to do that.
All right.
Sure thing. I'm going to say...
You can take Brisbane, that's all right. We'll see what we get in the chat.
No, I'll go Adelaide. Adelaide is a sure thing over Freo.
All right. And Eggy? So your sure thing first. You can take Collingwood as well if you want.
I was going to go to Sydney, but they're only paying $1.34.
That's all right. We can take the $1.34.
All right, let's do that then.
All right. So
Sydney.
we've got Collingwood, Sydney, and Adelaide. So if I can get everyone in chat just to vote for which one you want before the end of the show, and we'll can you do a poll down there, Eggy?
I don't think you can.
You can't. All right. We'll just get everyone just throw who you think.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I think you can. But I've never done it before. But...
Gee,
We'll have to look into it.
Hey G, how you going? Sorry, I've got my screen down here. I've got to look. That's why I keep diving down. And Eggy, your multis that you were going to pop up.
The first one. I got a 3-leg multi in the Brisbane Collingwood game. It's just a small one. Got Nick Dacos to get 25 or more disposals, Charlie Cameron to kick 2 or more goals, and Collingwood head to head. That gives me $4.33 odds. So for $15, it should get me just a little bit under $70.
Beautiful.
And then for the next $15, I've got a 2-leg multi in the Melbourne Storm and Sydney Roosters game tomorrow. It's just Will Warbrick to score a try at any time and Nick Mee to score a try at any time. That's $6 as well, so I think that'll get me close to $100, I think.
Beautiful. And your sure thing, we went with Sydney, didn't we?
Yes.
Oh, so we'll get the votes going down there if everyone just between Melbourne is his sure thing for. So Hurdy's gone with you, Tassie. Did you go Melbourne?
No, I ended up going Crows.
Sorry, Hurdy, we need you to pick between Crows. Who'd you go, Eggy?
I went Sydney Swans.
So Crows, Sydney, or Collingwood, Hurdy, if you can pick one of them.
And just want to do a quick shout out to Shezgen for the follow.
Thanks, you for following.
Good old
I feel like I
Carson.
heard that name before. Yep, there it is.
Yeah.
All right, so if you guys could just pick one of those 3 teams for us so we can have... We'll let you know by the end of the show which one we'll just go through and count.
Oh.
Eggy's best bets while we're here, mate. While
All
you've
right.
got it pulled up.
All right. What I have got is there's 3 horses I like this week. There's White Marlin at Sandown. I think that's pretty much a sure thing. He's going 5 from 5. Well, he's going for 6 from 6 actually. He's had 5 runs and he's got 1 more. Anamo's paying $2.60. She's not even the favourite. There's a $2.40.
$2.60. Animo.
Yeah. $2.45 favourite is Cleveland. They reckon it's going to beat her. No, not Cleveland. I think it could be Dubai, something or other.
Good luck.
And Gold Trip is doing the same sort of form that it's doing for the Melbourne Cup. It had the three runs leading up to it, and then it's it came out and brained them in the Melbourne Cup. So it's back to the 3,200 metre distance as well. So I'm going to back it this time. So depending how me multis go, because they got the bet returns on them for the bonus bets. So I might split them up and back each horse. I think it was $7.50 each on each of the horses, and then do a $7.50 multi of them all up. And the multi's paying $60.
660.
$60. I think it was $7.
Oh, $60. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for fuck's sake, let's get in there. Dubai Honor is up against Animo.
Yep.
I do not see how it's going to beat him, but
Yeah, I don't see it either.
Animo's
Do you know what I
an
heard you
absolute freak.
saying then, Eggy, that whole time?
What's that?
Eh,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I hope the stream could have heard me.
No,
Alright,
it's
so
only because I
we've
have
got
no idea what you're talking about.
High BCA's gone Sydney, Eggy Mate Sydney, G-Ra Sydney, Myth Brew, who's leading our tipping. Thanks for tuning in, Miss. Collingwood, Hurdy Swans, and the Pies have lost the last 3 at the Gabba. All right, so going by that, I think it's Sydney, guys. That's our team one will go on Sydney.
We'll wait till the end of the episode. There might be a few fake
few late
profiles
runners.
sign in and vote for us.
4-1, mate. All right, so at the moment, Sydney's leading.
Beautiful. All right, let's move on. So we've got our tips. Our tips, the leaderboard.
All right, so we just had Myth Brew vote for Collingwood. He's actually leading. He has let's just throw this down because I've found it tough, but he has gone 7 round 1, 6 rounds, round 7 in round 3. That is insane. He's on 20 tips after 3 rounds and absolutely killing it.
That's dominating.
It's absolute, and just 2 votes clear of Will. Will's still going
Yeah,
on.
well, he
He's at
should
3
look out
sixes.
because the Devil Horns are coming after him with his,
Yeah, the
with his
triple
666.
And then
Mr.
we've got
Consistent over here.
Mr. Consistent. Yeah, well, he's consistent too. He's got the 7s.
So he's due for a 6 this week. So I might try and go
You've
for
got
a
to get
couple
a
of,
9, mate.
yeah. I'll try for an 8.
And then
All
you're,
right, so-
you're one ahead. So in of equal third, who I believe one of them is your lovely wife.
Yes,
And
Haley, yeah.
the other one
And
is
Artie.
Artie in chat, our recent follower.
And good old Richmond equals 9th is coming in 5th.
There's a few on 16.
Oh, it's a heap on
There's
16.
a heap on 16.
Now, we'll just throw this because Taz is actually the only people behind Taz are the non-tipping ones. All the way down there at 27.
Nah,
Oh,
Pistol
no, sorry.
Nicholas.
Sorry, there is one
Nicholas.
below him. Only
Thank
just
you.
below him. I'm
Thank you.
only getting real cocky because I got a 6 last week and I'm
You-
2 in front of you now.
You could nearly call my tips the kiss of death at the moment.
Kiss of death,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think Pista Mickelor. I think that's Jack Wake. Pretty sure.
Ah, is it?
Yeah.
Old Mingus.
Yeah, that's him. I think that's Pista. I'm not sure who Dane Maisie is, but he's
Pretty lazy.
Dane Maisie lazy that hasn't put in any tips. He's-
I think he come in late and
Yeah.
then I think he missed a round. So I think that's more just a support tip there.
Yeah,
He's
no,
just
that's
coming
fair.
to support the show.
But it's good to see we've got 29 people in the tipping comp there. I love that.
No, it's very good.
Absolutely love that. I don't like being at the bottom of it, but I love that we've got so many of them.
No, you're absolutely horrible this year. I was going bad until last week. I should have had 8 last week, as I was saying before the show. I tipped 8 on the show, but I changed 2. I didn't change them. I just tipped them wrong.
You've jumped 3 spots.
Yeah, I know. Flying up, mate. Flying up. Here you come. Watch out, Miss Brew. Here I come. Only 8 behind.
All right, we're going to move on to our tips for the next round, and then we're going to have our first time doing something.
We're
On
going to
the
have a first show. First for the show up
We are.
after that one.
Told you I'm tired. I can't even talk.
So you got your Taz quiz coming up, I believe. So make sure you
Taz's
keep
test, mate.
Taz's test.
Taz's
So
test.
we've got a special guest coming on for that. So make
as long
sure
as it's
you
not
guys
Taz's
stay tuned.
testes, we'll be right.
Maybe that's the answer.
All right. So hope Taz doesn't pick your team this week because he's absolutely kick All right. So we'll kick off with you, Eggy, because it's your team Thursday night. Brisbane Collingwood.
I definitely went Collingwood.
That's all you got to say? Yep, definitely Collingwood.
Yep.
All right.
That's all I need to say.
I think the Fires are going too well too. I've got the Fires.
Apparently, I picked Collingwood too. I'm just looking at my tips here.
Yeah, I
now.
was just getting my phone up now, getting my tips up to see who I picked.
I thought I picked Brisbane.
You can change, mate. We're going to allow it. There's not
do
much
you know
going
what?
further
Please
tipping from
change, because I like it when you change, because the other team seems to win.
Do you know? I actually think, even though Collingwood have named Ash Johnson in the ruck, he's 193 centimeters, mind you. I think their ground ball game is just too strong and too.
It's
quick.
elite odds. And their halfback run, you win it out of the ruck, bomb it forward. Their run's quicker the other way.
Yeah.
They get the ball, you're in trouble. It's coming back twice as quick as you threw it in there.
Agreed. What about you?
Yeah, I've gone Collingwood.
Nice.
Easy Collingwood. I've put me 50 on Collingwood, so that's where I'm at.
I'm not even going to be able to watch the game tomorrow. I'm going to the Melbourne Storm game instead.
Oh, he's going to pick the wrong thing. Yeah, we're actually going to a game this week too, Tassie.
We are, and I'm very interested to see who you've tipped.
I have tipped North Melbourne. I think Carlton will win, but you never go against your side. That's why I'm normally shocking at tipping.
I always go against my side. I've learned that from the last 20 years.
Simpkin and LDU are two massive wins, but Logue's a big out.
He is a big out. He is. And
So
I
I've
think,
gone North anyway, but if you didn't get that.
Just who's excited about AFL 23? Mate, I'm actually excited about that game.
I can't play AFL games.
I am excited about it. So what about you?
No, I'm terrible at football games. I hate them. Bore me.
I haven't got it either. No plans on getting it.
Eggy, you've got North or Carlton?
I went Carlton.
Carlton and Tassie?
Baggers.
And you thought Harry McKay was going to have a massive game, didn't you?
I do think he'll kick a few because he's been out of form. Him and Charlie. I think him and Charlie fall between them at least.
Yeah. All right, then we've got Adelaide Freo. Now, I've gone Adelaide after last week's performance. I think they're all over Freo. Freo would have, as you mentioned before, West Coast were coming over the top of them, just run out of players. So I'm going Adelaide.
I'm the same. I went Adelaide as well. Adelaide at home. And then, yeah, Freo haven't been very convincing this year.
And Adelaide looked good.
They did look good, actually, yeah.
Yeah, the younger players are starting to really step up now. I think they'll be too good for Freo. I think Freo's gone backwards a step this year.
Tassie, who you got in the next one? Richmond Bulldogs.
Look, I'm still undecided. I haven't 100% committed to this one. I've got the Dogs at the moment, but that might change before the weekend. I think Richmond's actually in pretty good form at the moment. But something's telling me Dogs are starting to work into their good, quick, fast movement game style.
And Eggy?
I've gone Richmond. I think Richmond will bounce back after last week. They did show a glimpse of good against Collingwood, and plus the weather didn't help. I'm not sure if any of their players are back yet that were out.
Dusty's back this week.
Dusty is back, so yeah, I think definitely.
Is Dusty the only one back in though?
I believe so.
Yeah. I think they're still too short. I've gone Doggies. I thought Doggies looked very good. I was hoping you went Richmond to get another one on your Tassie, but yeah, I think Doggies will be too good. The way they played last week, if they bring that to this week, the second half of last week, sorry, I think they've started finding a bit of movement.
Heard you just put Hooper is back.
Hopper is okay. Richmond.
Back.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm back on Richmond. I'm off. I thought that was a big out with Hopper. I'm changing to Richmond.
So Hopper and Dusty
Hopper
back.
in.
Two big
Hosty
ins.
does yet. Richmond win.
Yep.
Even though the Bulldogs got moving, I think Richmond win that now.
Saints and Gold Coast. I actually think this will be a good match.
Me too.
Well, this is going to be not a test, I wouldn't say, but Gold Coast, they've played Geelong. They've had a win over Geelong. They've lost to Essendon and lost to Sydney. So Sydney are looking real good. Essendon are looking real good, even though St Kilda got them. So it's going to be a 50-51.
Yeah, it should be a pretty good matchup. They're sort of doing the same sort of thing this year.
I think St Kilda get them, though. Yeah, I think St Kilda get too good for them.
I'm with you there. I do think St Kilda will win.
Yeah, I've tipped the Saints as well.
Yeah, the next one, Eggy, Sydney Port, mate.
Well, they were my pick of the round.
Oh, pick of the round. That's right.
So
Sydney to bounce back for you.
Yeah, I reckon.
I'm
got
with
the-
Has
you.
he? Sorry?
I'm with you, Swans.
Oh, no, I meant sorry, Eggie. He's
Yeah,
they got what?
they're just. I reckon they're too good of a side to lose twice 2 weeks. So
Yeah, up at the SCG, I've got them two for a big win. They'll be hungry this week. They very disappointing last week. They'll smash Port Adelaide this week.
I think so.
but then thinking Port Adelaide are coming off 2 losses too, so they're sort of do or die too, aren't they themselves?
Yeah, but they had that good win, and since then been very. But then again, that good win against Brisbane. Brisbane have been a bit hit and miss, so that could be more Brisbane not performing than Port Adelaide performing.
100%.
So I've still got Sydney. I think they'll come back and they'll come with a bit of vengeance.
Beautiful.
Essendon GWS. Now I've tipped Essendon only because they're absolutely flying. Essendon had that tough loss this week, but that was against another side that's absolutely flying on top of the ladder there. So I'm going to tip Essendon.
I've got Essendon.
I've gone GWS.
GWS.
Ooh.
What are your thoughts behind GWS, Iggy?
I don't know. Just sort of felt it. Didn't
Just a
really.
feel?
Yeah. It's when it's on a Sunday game. It's too hard to see who's in and who's out yet because yeah. there's a
Yeah,
few-
the
there's
tips
a
don't come in until tomorrow, do they?
Yeah, and there's a few that's still to be tested in that. Like I know with the next game we'll talk about, I'll touch on a bit like that.
Yeah, West Coast Melbourne. So this is easy for mine, Melbourne, after the performance last week. Just make a mess at West Coast.
That's not what you were saying earlier.
I wasn't until I found out you told me about the but yeah, I think Melbourne make a mess of them. Few injuries. Melbourne just absolutely dominate this one.
What do you think, Eggy?
I was leaning towards West Coast. I'm still sort of on the fence because I was looking at the injury ward before. I think Elliot, how do you is it Yo?
Elliot Yo?
Yeah, Elliot Yo might be coming back in. He's getting tested on Friday or Saturday, and he might be.
He'll last a quarter.
Yeah. Sounds like a marathon man to me, no? But yeah, I'm leaning towards West Coast and West Coast, but yeah, Melbourne have looked good, and they are paying $1 to win, so the odds are stacked up against them. But I'm leaning that way, and I haven't quite put the nail on the head yet. Which way I'll go?
Yeah, fair enough.
And
Yeah,
Tassie,
I think Melbourne will beat West Coast reserves.
the underdone West Coast. Yeah, all right. Now we've got the big Easter Monday clash. Geelong and Hawthorn. Tassie, you want to take us away? Because I've got a few controversial opinions
Battle
about
of the
this one.
wooden spoon, is it?
I'm picking Geelong, and this is pretty much probably going to be the last time I pick them if they lose this weekend. Because
keep
I've picked them
ticking
for the
along,
first
just keep
4 rounds. I'm like,
ticking
come on,
along.
they've got to click into gear at some stage. Playing Hawks, who they did play well on the weekend, but I've tipped Hawks to get the spoon. Surely this is the match where Geelong go, you know what, we've copped a heap of criticism for the last 3 rounds. Let's actually kick it up a notch and get back into form, even though they are still suffering with a depleted backline.
Talks to Chad Wingard coming back in too.
Yeah,
Artie's put
Yeah, I was just reading that one.
Artie's put Hawks by 18.
Eggie, who you got?
I have picked Geelong. I'm a bit worried. I feel like I'm picking them every week, thinking they're going to bounce back. But
Now, yes,
get to see
I've
it.
gone the other way, boys. Now, I have gone Hawthorn purely because I think Geelong are majorly underdone, and the Hawks were impressive last week and quick. I think they will run rings around them. And I have changed my opinion on Geelong. I think they're hungover, underdone. This is just what I'm thinking. By the way, they played the first 3 rounds. It's hard to get going mid-season. I know Sydney's done it before, but there's not many times that get going after 3 losses and improve. So I'm going Hawthorn.
Do you
And I
know
reckon
the,
the same about 18.
1974, I believe, North Melbourne were in the same position.
Yes,
after a premiership win.
Yeah, we got very hungover. I have heard this. Dunny does bring this up at work daily. The last team to do it was who won the 95 or 94 Granny Todd? Or whichever year it was. It's obviously North because you wouldn't be asking me otherwise.
Yeah, good call. Good call.
But no, that's our tips for the round, boys.
It's going to be interesting to see where we all end up, whether you
Yeah.
take on top spot, Will, whether you jump up a few more spots Todd, or whether I managed to somehow drop down to very last.
I don't think you can because one's not tipping. But man, behind that.
All right.
Before we get to the next one, just if you want to do some tipping, remember a sports bet do every round, the perfect round. You go on to sports bet and go into the little wherever it is. I'll have a look at it again a bit later. Forgot where it is now. But yeah, you can if you get a perfect round, you tip every correct, and then you choose the margin of the last one. You're in for a shot for 10K.
Huge amount of money.
Yep.
Massive amount.
Hashtag not a sponsor. So
Yet.
yeah. All right. I'm going to bring Hurdy in. Now, those watching, the screen's going to change a little bit. It's going to put us into quadrants. So I will admit Herdster coming in now. There he is. He's got the hoodie
there
on.
he is. Got the hoodie on. Get the footy behind him. That's better. Which way have I gone?
Look like a creeper, brother. I love it.
I'm in my Collingwood hoodie.
Just to let you know, I'm not
Oh.
Googling. This is just a stream on behind. That's what I'm looking at if I look down. Hands up here.
Can't do that. People might put the answers in the chat.
This is true. All right, I'll spin it round. Facing
Now-
that way.
Eggy, I'm going to ask if you can keep score.
Yes, I can do that.
Beautiful. Now, the way this works, guys,
Brossa, we need you to lean forward. We keep losing you there, mate.
Doing
the
the
way,
old
the
John
way this
Cena.
works, you can't see me. So I've got 4 questions, and then who am I? So it's not a long quiz. Whoever wins tonight stays on. So Hurdy, if you do beat Todd, you come back next week to verse Turtle will be joining us next week, and it'll be winner stays on for the following weeks.
You two are here. It's a lot of Pirates questions next week.
We'll see. We'll see. What I'm going to ask you to do is, before, I don't want you to just yell the answer out. I would like you
name.
to. I'm going to let you come up with your own sort of buzzer or buzzword.
This
And
is going to hurt your ears, mate. This is going to hurt your ears.
Why? What do you want, Todd? Hey,
Can you hear that?
No.
No. All right, we'll have to do something else. Do.
All right, going with the do. Hurdy.
I don't know. Wolf.
Woof. All right, done. I thought you were going to go with something like pies or.
Brossa.
Love it.
I'm changing my mind. Cheese.
So what's yours? Cheese.
Cheese. The great Cheezel.
Cheese. And
Cheese.
wolf. All right.
I'll change mine to Dacos.
Dacos.
Make your damn minds up. So we got cheese and Dacos.
Yeah, we're off.
Deal. All right. Eggy, you can be the judge on who buzzes in first. All right.
Yep.
Question number 1. How many goals and behinds did Carlton kick on the weekend?
Cheese.
Against...
10 goals, 20.
Ba-boom.
Is it? Oh, no.
Hurdy?
believe it was 11 goals, 20.
No, can I have another
Ba-boom.
crack? It's 8 goals, 20.
Still incorrect.
Is it?
You've got the behinds right. So
I know it was 20.
neither of you get a score for that one.
So it's 9 goals, 20, wasn't it?
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah, I knew it was
Correct. So no points. No points. All right. Question number 2. Since the year 2000, how many clubs have won 3 premierships in
Cheese.
Dacos.
a row? Eggy, who was first?
I heard Todd first. I heard Cheese.
So it was how many clubs? 2.
Yes. Bonus points if you can name them both.
Okay, one was Hawthorn and Richmond.
Incorrect. 1
No,
point.
Could I answer the other question?
You won't get a point for it, but you can.
Brisbane.
Correct.
Yes, I knew that.
How
Did know that.
you go with the score and extra all over it?
Yeah, just Todd 1 and Hurdy 0.
I wasn't sure. Just double checking.
Do we minus the points? You didn't get it right, and I got it.
I got the first
No.
half.
All right. Question number 3. What was the last season we had a player kick 100 plus goals?
Brossa. It was 2000 and 11.
Incorrect.
I don't think there was one in the 2000s. It'd be 99, I reckon.
Incorrect.
No.
It was the year 2008.
Oh, you was close. Who was it?
Now I'm going
Buddy
to.
Franklin.
Yeah.
That is correct.
Is
That
it?
is
Yeah.
correct.
Oh, Hawthorn. Yes,
Yep.
yes. Do you know that? Yeah.
Perfect.
It was in their 3-peat year.
When he
All
kicked
right.
14 against North.
Question 4. How many Coleman medals did Jason Dunstall win?
Brossa. You won
Wasn't
5.
your buzzer like
Dacos.
He was too quick for me there anyway.
I believe it was 5.
Incorrect.
Close then.
Don't look at chat.
What was the question again? Sorry, I missed it. I was too
How
quick.
many Coleman medals did Jason Dunstall win?
3?
That is spot on. Do you know the
That's
years?
beautiful. Jesus. I don't even know when he played. I'll say 80, 81, 82, 83.
No.
I don't even know when he
88.
played.
89 and 92.
I knew it was the 80s, but I was too far on.
All right, we're up to the who am I? Is it one apiece, Edgy?
No, Todd's on 2 and Hurdy's on
2
0.
zip, mate.
Ooh. All right, we're going to make this for 3 points.
Oh, great. Just throw me under the bus.
So we can't make it for 2 and there'd be a decider if it comes to that, or
I didn't do up a deciding.
okay.
He hasn't done that much. Oh, I'm terrible at who am I? So I had to get up. All right, let's go.
Actually, no. All right, so it's a who am I? For 3 points. I was born March 9th, 1966.
Just can't pick a recent player.
My AFL career begun in 1983 and went through until 1999. I did, however, play 3 games in 2002. I won 4 Coleman medals. Any thoughts so far?
Not a clue.
All right. I played for 2 AFL clubs.
Cheese? It's not for Vola. Did he come back when he got suspended?
He didn't play in 1983.
Oh, yeah, that's it. All right. It's not it. 83.
The 2 clubs I played for were Sydney and St Kilda.
Todd Cheezel.
It's
Barry Hall.
Dacos. Tony Lockett.
Correct.
Oh,
Tony Lockett
Lockett.
for the win.
Yes.
Well done, Hurdy. Well done.
Did he come back for 3 games?
Yeah, I didn't actually know that
know
until
he
I was
come
doing
back.
up the
Oh, well,
research.
you can come back next week, Hurdy.
No, appreciate it.
Carryover champ.
Oh, got a bit lucky.
No, the who am I's, I'm terrible at him. If you did a recent player, maybe, but not
So there was 2
anything
players
before the
going,
80s.
2 players going through my mind was Lockett and Scott Cummings for some reason because he played at multiple clubs.
He did. He was a good player too.
Mm.
Artie,
Why
you
didn't
did
no
pretty
Lockett
well
come
there in
back?
chat.
Yeah, I was just gonna say honourable mention that Artie are playing along with you boys. So we
Well,
might
that's good.
have to reach out for him. I think we've got the next 2 weeks booked up, but we might have to get you in for the 3rd week or 4th week.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Would
we
you be
got
keen to
Plugger
join
there.
the show, Artie? That'd be good. Well done, Hurdy.
Well done, Hurdy.
Yeah, well done, mate, even though Taz just rigged it right at the end there.
Try to keep it interesting.
I knew as soon as you done that, I'm terrible at who am I's. Anytime before
How
80,
about this?
90, I reckon.
Another question, Taz, and
No, you're right, mate. You're the winner. We prefer to have 2 guests on anyway.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
prefer to have 2 guests.
Absolutely. Otherwise, it would just be Todd every week, and no one wants to hear that. No, I'm joking.
I'm not that good. Recent day trivia. If you went back, like the Who Am I's, you went back to the 80s on the night. Couldn't tell you, but
Well, depending how Friday goes, you might not want to be at the show next week, Taz.
yeah, he might not want to be here at all.
You're definitely going to hear about it.
This is true.
Might
This
have
is
a
true.
big giant finger. Still get them.
All right. Look, I think
All
it's time to wrap it up, boys. What do you reckon?
It's good.
No, Walkers. Purdy, I've already asked you. We normally get people to give us their Charlie and their premiership winner. That hasn't changed from last week, has it? You got Collingwood and Warner.
Yeah, I still think Warner's got the ability to pull votes. He's actually playing some pretty good football. Even in his bad game just gone, he still did some pretty good things. So, like the kid,
Beautiful.
like his spunk.
Quickly before we do go, do you want to give us your tips? I'll run through them quickly, and you tell us who's going to win. Want to do that or?
Sure.
All right, Brisbane Collingwood,
Pies.
North Melbourne Carlton,
Carlton.
Adelaide
Exactly.
Fremantle,
Freo.
Richmond Bulldogs,
Got Richmond.
St Kilda Gold Coast,
I've gone Gold Coast.
Sydney Port Adelaide,
I've gone the Swans.
Essendon GWS,
I've gone GWS for a point of difference.
West Coast Melbourne,
Melbourne smash them.
and Geelong and Hawthorn.
Tip the Hawks.
Yes.
Me and Noisy.
Yeah, we've had a couple, haven't we? We went Gold Coast last week, which I didn't end up tipping.
I tipped Gold Coast, and
no, I had them on the show. I tipped Gold Coast, but I never ticked the button.
Looks like Artie's keen for joining the show in a few weeks to jump in the quiz. So,
Beautiful. Well, we've got the next two wrapped up. We've got.
well, that's 3 now.
Yeah. Well, I was just letting him know we've got 2, so 3 weeks' time we'll be happy to have you on.
Beautiful. Awesome. Awesome.
Always
awesome.
a pleasure, fellas. Thanks for having me.
All right, thanks, boys, and thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll see you next week.
Really appreciate it. And let's hope that this weekend's another explosive round.
Explosive round of football. Let's
Yeah,
hope
boy.
North get up, eh? Go the Roos.
Yeah. Can't do.
Up the
All right, thanks, guys.
See you later.
Yeah.